The first way to sell inventory, and the one we'll discuss at length today, is committing them to projects. The second of which would be using the point of sale system, again, which is in a webinar that we'll be going over in the near future. To commit or allocate a inventory item to one of your existing design projects, that process begins on our Project tab on our familiar specifications window. So let's bring up one of our projects, one of my favorites, the old Carter's Brigantine Beach Home. And let's say that I have our wall plaque that's in our inventory, and we want to put that into the outdoor living area for the Carter's Beach Home. On the specifications window, I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Add button, which would allow us to enter in a specific item custom for this project. But to the immediate right of that is our Inventory button. If I select that, I can add an item from inventory quite easily. I can use my inventory stock item search, and there's our wall plaque right at the top. To commit it over to the Carter's project, simply hit choose. The warehouse will automatically default to the default warehouse of the company, of course. How many units I want to bring over, I can indicate the location, and I said the outdoor living area, that's fine. And then we have a pricing selection. Now, our wall plaque is generally at 100% markup. But for the Carters, if we look at their project configuration, we usually mark up merchandise at 30%. So Design Manager affords you the ability to say, I'd rather use whatever price I charge in my inventory as the price to the Carters, or if I'd want to adhere to a very strict 30% markup of cost, I could use the project pricing calculation as well. So you are in full control of which pricing structure you want to use for the selling of the inventory. If we click OK, let's see what happens. Right away, we can see the item's been automatically created for us. The first vendor, by default, we specifically set that to inventory, so you can easily see what pieces are coming from inventory right under specifications window. And back in our inventory, let's take a look. We can see right from our inventory stock item glossary that our committed quantity has increased. Our on hand is still set at 1. We still possess that piece, but it's allocated or earmarked to the Carters. And we can even see that transaction on our status tab of the inventory stock item as a single committed transaction. And if we scroll out to the right to a degree, Design Manager will even tell us the exact project item and component combination where that item, where this piece is currently committed. That's a very convenient way to bring an item into a particular project for reselling. Let's use another method. We can also commit inventory as pieces or components of an item. Let's say we want to sell some of our paintings, but we only want a single item to the Carters. Let's see how that works. Let's get back to our Carter's Brigantine Beach Home. In this case, I'm not going to use the inventory button. I'm going to use the traditional Add button to bring up my item window. Client description, artwork, very generic. Location, let's say that this is in master bedroom. We'll use one, let's say set as our units. Sales category, artwork is just fine. Now I'm going to use the Add button to get to my component window, because here I can also access my inventory with the Get Inventory button. If I select that, it brings up my inventory search again. And let's imagine that we will sell the Aqua Seashell painting. And by selecting it, Design Manager does several things. It reconfigures the component window for us by placing it in discount pricing automatically, so we can always have our sell price calculated. We see the stock number in place of the manufacturer's catalog number and the warehouse from which we're removing. Click OK. Great, now I have the seashell painting in there. Let's add another piece of artwork. Click on our Add button again to get to component 002. Back to our Get Inventory, and we'll put in our Reflections painting. Choose again. We can see how the window again reconfigures. This one's a bit more pricey, and click OK. Make sure we put our quantity in appropriately. There we go. And now we can see that I can add as many of these pieces. All the carders will see upon their invoice is one item for artwork with the total price. And yet I'm pulling from various specific and individual stock items. Click OK, and there's our artwork item. And what did that just do on our inventory glossary? Let's take a look. Let's look at our artwork. And now on our seashell painting, we can see one committed, and the same with our reflections. And again, we have that committed quantity right for us, showing what item and component it's allocated towards.